tell us what's your role with PGA?
Currently, my role at the PGA of America is serving on the foundation side, raising critical funds that enable diverse communities, veterans, boys and girls to experience the game of golf. Those who cannot afford to play and get the instruction that they need to gain that magnificent exposure that we hope that everyone in the world gets at some point in their lives.
Okay, and so Zakiyah, you have been a partaker of media for many, many years. Tell us when your media journey started.
My media journey started at Frisco High School when I stepped into the classroom of my former teacher, Eva Coleman. She taught me everything there is to know about media, and I immediately started immersing myself into media. I learned how to enhance my interpersonal skills and really started to take on leadership roles. Whether it was on our broadcast station or out networking, that experience has really shaped me into the woman I am today, and I'm just so thankful for her guidance and instruction as I've been able to use those skills as I've now entered the world of golf.
Okay, and talk about, because you actually were brought back to the district to speak even when you were a college student. Talk about your college experience, what you majored in, things of that sort, and what it was like to come back and actually speak to your entire district during a convocation event.
Before I went off to Capitol Hill for my first ever internship working for former United States Senator Kay Bailey Hutchison, Frisco ISD asked me to come back and speak at convocation to over 5,000 educational leaders about my experience coming up in Frisco ISD. That experience was truly incredible, seeing the sea of people really be engaged and willing to listen to my unique perspective and willing to hear my story about all of the teachers that poured into me and really helped me build my confidence. It served as an opportunity for me to give back. From there, I went on to the University of North Texas, studied journalism with a double minor in political science, and that experience really exposed me to a diverse population, with UNT being the third largest university in the state of Texas, with so many different backgrounds of people. It gave me another diverse lens to really help mold me as a woman. And from there, after graduating, I went on to get my master's of public affairs at University of Texas at Dallas and started working in public affairs at Texas Instruments, did a global marketing program, and ultimately the company created a role for me working in philanthropy. And that's what really helped me immerse myself in the corporate social responsibility realm, which requires me to really use all the skills that I learned through media from Ms. Coleman, who has just been a phenomenal role model to me.
Oh, wow. You're going to make me cry over here. We have seen your trajectory. We've seen your rise. And so now that you're heavily involved in the sports arena, talk about, I guess, what's different or what's the same?
Yeah, so for me, being a millennial working in golf, it has really been an opportunity for me to build bridges. I remember coming up, there were so many women and people of color that poured into me, and now that I am in a role where I am managing a team, I am really delivering impact and raising critical funds to make a difference in the world. What's changed is I now see myself in young people that are coming up to me saying, how did you get to where you are? Why golf? How can I break into the sports industry? So I've now been able to help be a bridge builder, just like those teachers that have poured into me, and really help people understand that you can do whatever you put your mind to and you have a voice. Even being in a world of golf, it is male dominated, it is predominantly white. I know that my space in this organization, the largest sports organization in the world, PGA of America, it is going to give me the opportunity to help lift other young people up and help them understand that there's a unique place for you in this world, and here's how you carve out your space to use your passion and talent to make a difference.
Now, Zakiyah, you speak highly about just educators and the role that they play in students' lives. You actually had a podcast that you created where you were highlighting just your favorite teachers. Tell us a little about that.
Of course. So during my time post-college, I created a podcast highlighting Frisco ISD educators that have made a significant impact in my life. And I called this podcast Teach Brighter. One of the educators that I highlighted was Eva Coleman in the Career and Technical Education Center on set. And what inspired me to create this podcast was to really highlight those who have helped me become who I am today. I have a special heart for educators because I come from a family of educators. My grandmother is an educator. I have 2 aunts that are educators. So just knowing that educators play an incredible role in the lives of shaping human life is just so important, and I thought by using my creative mind to create something that I could own was something that was needed in the community.
Okay, and so now you've taken all of these skills and all of these nuggets of information from so many people. What advice do you give to others, young people coming up to pursue their dreams?
One of my biggest pieces of advice is to know that life is not linear. You know, after doing my internship on Capitol Hill, I thought I was going to go back to DC and work my way up from a legislative assistant up to a press secretary. However, Senator Hutchison retired when I graduated from college in 2013, and I had a midlife crisis at 21. I didn't know what I was going to do, but my mother and father, they really reinforced that your path is going to have a lot of twists and turns, so be okay with the ambiguity of life and be willing to adapt and learn and overcome, because your path it's set, but you're going to learn so much more by just being open to the changes that life brings you.
All right.
I am Zakiyah Johnson, and you're watching Sisters with Superpowers.